streaming today. We're gonna be doing like a 1 hour stream today. Honestly, I haven't been doing these in a long time, so I was like, you know what, bro, I'm just in the mood to do one. And honestly, unfortunately, I can't do these karaoke things for because what you call it, my speakers actually broke. So now I just really just can really just do this, just talk, have my usual talks with you guys and everything, and just go from there. Give me one moment. I'm just gonna turn off my lamp. Rub a dub dub. Rub a dub dub. So, anyways, back to what I was saying. So, yeah, I can't really do my karaoke streams right now. Uh, I'll get back to it sooner or later. But, anyways, what I really wanted to talk about was I have a story for you guys. I got a story time. So, I was at work today, right? And one of my coworkers, she really said that. Well, actually, this has been going for a while, actually. So, one of my coworkers, she really told me that about what my dream was, right? About what my dream, what's my passion, and everything. And like she was like, why didn't I go to college and everything? And I told her because school isn't my thing. I just wanna become a streamer, grind, and just keep pushing my dream. I just wanna keep, just pushing my dream, doing what I gotta do, and just just keep going and everything. I don't ever wanna stop, and I don't ever wanna, quit on this dream. Never wanna give up on it. So I told her that I want to be a streamer. I want to keep growing and literally just be the best version of myself I could be, I guess. Unfortunately, she didn't like that and she distanced herself from me. And funny enough too, she told me now I'm a child, now I'm young, and then everything, right? Because she's 25 and I'm 20. And what bugs me is that she basically implied that I'm a child and she was basically making fun of me, she was giving me shit and everything. And she was basically saying I ain't shit because I told her I want to be a streamer and everything. And she asked me, why don't you go to college, get a degree, get six figures and everything? And I told her, why am I going to do that? School is easy for me, but why would I want to go to school and everything? I'm telling you, like when people ask me what my dream is and everything, they get so weird about it. They tell me that I ain't shit or that you're never gonna make it. You ain't Speed. You ain't Kai Cenat. I don't want to be Speed. I don't want to be Kai Cenat. I want to be me. I want to be Soulfly. I want to be my own streamer and everything. Like I like looking at all these streamers and everything. I love their content, but I'm not them. I'm me, and that's what I don't like. So, anyways, she tells me that go to school, get yourself a degree, and that I, I'm a child that be saying that she said this quote for quote. I can't be with you because one, you're younger than me, we're 5 years apart, and that basically she wants six figures and she wants somebody with a degree, basically that whole picket fence shit. And I said that's not me and that's not what I want to do with my life. I literally just want to keep grinding. What's good, Lee? How you doing, mate? Like literally I just want to stream, make content, just make people smile, just make people happy, and that's all I want to do with my life. I don't ever see myself wanting to do something that I don't want to do and everything. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with school and everything. I'm actually younger because she's older than me. She's 25 and I'm 20 years old. Top Hat was good, May. Appreciate you, May. Appreciate the sub. What's up, such much? The thing is, too, damn type shit, not facts. See, my preference is I like older women personally, but what I don't like is when, how do I say, she's basically how do I say, bringing me down. She's trying to bring me down, right? And saying that basically my dream is she doesn't believe in me. She doesn't got faith in me. I'm gonna make it and everything, right? Which I get it. Streaming is how do I say? It's like you just gotta keep grinding. You just gotta be consistent and everything. Can't give up on it. it's a hard thing. Appreciate you, Lee. I appreciate you so much. It was good, Alexander. Yeah, how you doing? But yeah, it hurts, It hurts. Like, is she for the streets is crazy. See, the crazy thing is too, like, how do I say is it hurt and everything, because you know we was she grew on me and everything. Like, we used to like talk a lot every single day and everything, and like about everything. But then the minute she brings up about what I want to do with my life and everything, she distances herself from me, and then she tells me that she doesn't want to be with me because of my age and because of she doesn't believe in my dream. And I mean, it's cool. It doesn't hurt me, but I think what bothers me the most about it is that I don't like. That's the thing I don't like. I don't like when people bring up my age and everything. I don't like that she basically made it sound like I'm a damn child. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know like my emotional intelligence. I don't know jack. Like, made me feel like an idiot. And I don't like that stuff right there. Nah, yeah, don't worry, we all been there. Honestly, look, I have gone through so many damn rejections in my lifetime that this doesn't hurt me. It doesn't phase me. I think what really hurts me the most about this whole like interaction or like this whole thing with her, because it's been going on for months, right? I think what hurts me is the fact that I don't like when people like, push like, bring down on my dream, like, they're like making it sound like, oh man, you ain't gonna make it, or we don't got no faith in you and stuff. I think that's what bugs me the most about it. That doesn't matter. It's just actually, age is actually nothing else. The person you marry, it is older, might be why. True. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all this. My preference is like I've always preferred older women, and the reason why is because I'm more of a I like straight to the point. I don't like doing like going that back and forth, fighting, teasing, all that bull stuff. I mean, anybody can like be mature and everything, but it's like I don't know. That's just always been my preference and everything. And the thing is too is just that I don't know. I just don't like people who do that. Like either they don't support you or they like when you tell them the truth, like they don't like that. I don't know why. It's just that everybody like wants that fantasy, that white picket fence fantasy and whatever. And like, see, that's not something I could provide. And it's like, I can't be something that I'm not. And I know what I want to do and stuff. It's just that because it's like such a rare thing or it's like a hard goal and everything. I guess people are gonna try to like bring you down or try to say like. What's your plan B? What's your second plan? To me, there is no plan B. This is either this or nothing at all. And that's just what really bugs me and everything. It's like everybody like tries to make you like you gotta think smaller, bro, or like you ain't jack. No, know what I mean? Nah, facts, bro. Same here, brother. Amen. Nah, facts, bro. Amen. Amen. You know what's crazy? So like I feel like when you like if you grow as a person and everything, I feel like the best thing to do, like at my age and everything, is just like keep growing and just like, you know what, all right, this happened, move along. It's not gonna bother us, it's not gonna affect us, because there are more important things, right now. And it's like Duke Dennis, my fault for the glaze, like Duke Denzel Dennis said, she's a whore, bro. She's a whore, you know? And it's like let it go, just let it go, man. Just what, didn't work out, move on to the next, and then call it a day. I just think like the only hard thing about it is like when you work with somebody and you see them every day, that's what hurts. Just wait patiently and God will give you something better. Yeah, I know, like you're right, Top Hat. Like it's like you just gotta be patient and everything and just like hope and pray for the best. That's all you could do. And it's like everything comes in due time by itself. You just gotta wait. God will give you something better. No, facts. It's just yeah, no, it's just insane. Like I just don't, how do I say, I'm used to rejection and everything, but I just can't stand like disrespect. I can't stand disrespect, and what I really can't stand, it's the fact that so I have to see her every day, right? And the thing is, she just stares at me. She just stares at me, doesn't say anything. She doesn't even say hi or anything. She just looks at me like I'm a criminal, like I'm a bad guy or something, right? And I didn't do anything to her too. That's the funny thing about it. I just don't like when how do I say, you know, being viewed as like the bad guy, or like, like I did something horrible, because like that really is what bugs me. What's good, Jax? How you doing, mate? Yo. But I mean, like I say, like stuff happens for a reason, and it's like, if it's not it, it's not it. Just basically take it as a sign, grow as a person, just try to be mature about everything, and like just keep growing. I don't know, maybe it's me, like, but that's just how I view everything. I always feel like every situation is like, you just gotta like take it with like a grain of salt and just move on. Love is like a ripple in a pond, if it finds a way. And no, it does, it finds a way. I mean, how do I say, like, I stream because like literally like it's always been my dream to stream, and like since I was 15 years old, and I just like, how do I say, want to just keep making that dream alive. Every day I stream, it feels like I'm getting closer and closer and closer to my dream. Even if it's for 30 minutes, even if it's for an hour. Because like at the end of the day, we only have one lifetime, and it's like, you know what? If I have one lifetime, I'm gonna do what I actually want to do. You might actually be lucky that someone made a time travel machine before you die. Oh my lord. If we had a time travel machine, and I'm gonna be honest, I would just go back in time and just be like, hey man, we're gonna make it through some hard times, but we're gonna pull it through together. We're gonna pull it through together. I don't think I ever want to see my future. I don't think I want to see my future because like I don't want to see that. I feel like there's so many damn futures in one person's, that I feel like, anything could happen. It's like, like you're either taking the right or the left, or the middle. It's just that like I feel like if you go and see your future and stuff, it's like, you're gonna get too lazy, or like, man, you already know this is gonna happen in the future. I feel like everything is better to come as a surprise. Just because like I feel like if you see your future and everything, I think like I find that as a bad thing. It's because I feel like God has a plan, and He's gonna carry out that plan. Everybody comes at their own pace and everything. Uh, but honestly, I just like, how do I say? I've seen so many like people go through it, go through rejections, go through heartbreaks, go through breakups, and like I could see why they feel pain. I can understand that. I just think that I don't like disrespect. I really don't like disrespect. The farthest a human time travel is back is 0.3 seconds. Dang. I think like disrespect is more annoying than, fear of rejection and fear of like, not being accepted and everything, like by somebody. And the only reason why is because like I feel like you should treat other people the way you want to be treated. And I always stand on that. I feel like you should always be nice to everybody, and if not, just be decent with everybody. I don't think you should ever like bring someone down, or like tell them like, they're not gonna make it, or try to make it sound like they're not going to. Like, you gotta saying like you gotta be realistic, you gotta have a plan B. I feel like anybody could be anything. You just gotta set your mind to it. You know, it's just that just like it's really, I wouldn't say it's hurtful, but it's like, you're bringing someone down. That's not cool. That's not cool. And the fact too is like, but if it was the other way around, if I said some shit like that, right, I would look like a bad person. I look like a shitty person, or I would feel like one. And I have felt like that because back like when I was younger, I said some fucked up shit before to some people before, and it doesn't make me feel better. It doesn't make you feel better. It just makes you feel like a shitty person and everything. But hey, who am I to judge? I feel like that's the thing too. I feel like we're everybody is so judgmental. Shit, even I am. You know, and I feel like that's such a bad thing and everything. I feel like we shouldn't judge, because I feel like you never know, bro. You really never know what that person's going through, or you really just don't like know their situation and everything. I feel like you always gotta be nice to people no matter what, or at least try to be a decent person. It's because like you never know that person that you might piss off in the future might end up actually remembering it, or might actually take it as a, like let's say you disrespect your future boss, right? And then know that was your future boss. The next thing you know, you got a fucking problem. My point is, I feel like just be nice, decent, kind to everybody. Just live life, and just push and chase your dreams, and just do what you got to do. But no one wants to hear that. No one ever wants to hear that. And what I can't stand is like everybody will be the biggest hater or no one will support you. And if they do support you, it'll only be like one or two people, or and I feel like that's enough. I feel like there's enough people to support you, but it's like when you actually achieve what you achieve, and then everybody all of a sudden like wants to like say like, "Hey man, congratulations," or "Hey man, can I borrow this?" or "Yo, can you spot me?" No, bruh, I don't like that. I can't stand that because then that's just people taking advantage, and it's like, why am I gonna like give you the spoils of my labor? Nah. Have you ever gotten a friend that is friends with you and then your enemies with you? Or oh my god, don't even start with that. I dealt with that so many times. Oh my lord, bro. Have you ever gotten a friend that is friends with you and then enemies with you over and over again, bro? I literally used to have my best friend back in the day. This man was my brother, and then next thing you know, bro, he's my enemy. He hated me. He hated me because I made a stupid mistake, and then he would hate me for like years, 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 and then he would be friends with me after like we graduated high school and everything, and he apologized, and he matured, really matured as a person. Even though we always used to have a back and forth and everything, but I think what really hurts about that is like, it's true what they say. It's not really your enemies that tend to hurt you. It's like the people that are closer to you, like your friends, your family, like they're the ones who usually have to you know tend to hurt you the most or betray you. And it's crazy. I just wish that give me one sec, guys. Give me one sec. Sorry, I'm listening to music right now actually, so I'm like I'm talking slow because I'm actually tired too, unfortunately. But the stream must go on. Give me one second. Yo, I'm a third wheel, and my friend broke up with her now, and we ain't friends. He's saying that was my fault. What's good, side? Yo, how you doing? I'll get to you in one second, Alexander. Give me one second. Okay, so let's get back to it. So you said that you was third wheeling, okay, and that and your friend broke up with her, and now we ain't friends. He's saying that it was my fault, bro. I remember you, side. Look, let me tell you this: it's not your fault. You can't blame yourself for a breakup like that. To be honest, I'm gonna tell everybody here right now. All of y'all got motion. All of y'all are the goats, and that is the biggest bullshit I ever heard in my life. So they broke up, and your friend is blaming you. You can't be blamed for their shortcomings and for whatever happened in their situation, and their relationship. And third wheeling, I'm gonna be honest. I have been a third wheel multiple times, right? And you know what's insane? I had my friends cut me off. I have dealt with them blaming me. I have dealt with them saying that, yo, my girl doesn't like you. And like, I don't forget the time one of my friends, my closest friends, his girl told me I'm a loser and said I'm never gonna be Jack. I'm never gonna be shit without him for the rest of my life. She said that I wouldn't be shit if it wasn't for him, which was the biggest bullshit I ever heard in my life. She said I'm not gonna be shit because I am not gonna be shit without unless I have my friend with me. And the thing is, it's like what hurts the most is that my friend would not defend me, right? He would just laugh it off. He would just like, man, she's playing or she's joking. He just finds it funny. He finds it funny, and that's what hurts because how you gonna find that funny? If my friend is getting disrespected, and let me tell you this: if I have a girl, right, and she's disrespecting my friend who I've known for years, years, right, I'm breaking up with her. I'm breaking up with her. I'm choosing my friend, and the reason why is like my girl, if my future partner has to respect my friends, has to respect my family, myself, and herself. That's it. If I hear my partner is having issues with my own friends, my mother, That's crossing a boundary for me. Because if let's say I respect hers and I respect her friends and I respect her family, why is she gonna disrespect mine? That's not fair. I feel like that's just crossing the line right there. And saying something like that to one of my friends, well, immediately made me have to cut her off. I just don't think that's nice. I think you would get a job at therapy, not gonna lie, and not trying to offend of anything. No funny stuff. I've always been told I make a good therapist or a listener because all of my friends and my will always tell me about their situations with their relationships and everything, and they will to advise like just to, I don't know, they would just always talk to me about it, and I was like, I understand, mate. Look, for someone who has never been in a relationship, for some reason, I can just understand it. I don't know why. I can just and I feel like everybody has to go through it, at least once in their lifetime. I feel like everybody has to go through heartbreak once, and I feel like everybody has to go through that pain at least once, just because I feel like it's so common, and I feel like everybody has to go through something before they can actually grow as a person. And it's like, it's cool and everything. It's cool. You go through like obstacles. Nothing is ever like straightforward or like a straight line. Everything's like a zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. Like everything's obstacles, and it's like what I can't stand is like when people don't take accountability for their actions. Like for example, that story that Alexander said about the thanks for the speech. It helps me. I'm going through some tough times, mate. We all going through hard times together, mate. I'm here for you, mate. Let me tell you, bro. I have been through it. I have been through a lot of stuff with that situation that you said. And I'm not saying that just to like, flex or whatever. I'm just relating it to you, mate. I'm like, some people just don't want to take accountability. Some people just want to laugh it off. Some people just do what they do with it, And like I said, like you can't blame yourself for their breakup and for being the third wheel. Look, I can understand, you want like the couple wants to have private time together, like they just want to be by themselves and everything. But bro, if my friend wants to hang out with us, I'm like, yeah, man, you can join us. I have no problem with that. I got you, man. It's just like I feel like there's some boundaries, you just gotta have like, everybody wants space, I understand that, but it's just that I can't. Why am I gonna blame someone for our shortcomings, And it's like if I have a partner, I would want her to be. She doesn't have to be the best of friends with my friends, but I just want her to be like comfortable with them, like she's comfortable with them. I'm comfortable with her friends and everything. I'm not saying we all gotta hang out and everything, but as long as we're comfortable and we respect each other's friends, we have no problem. And I don't. Why would I want her or me to hurt my friend? That's not cool. Yo, you don't let your enemies knock you down. Bruh. The funny thing is, they used to bring me down so many times when I was young, but now I just really don't care. It's like when people try to knock me down or like when people try to like break me down, it doesn't bother me as much as it used to. I think what it just does now is like, hey man, I just take that as a sign, like, hey man, they must be hating on you if you're doing something right. It's just like, I use it as fuel. I just use it as like, hey man, shit happens and like, they can't hate you for, trying. And I don't understand why people hate that you try, and I don't understand why like it's viewed as such a bad thing. But hey, I don't know, bro. I'm just a 20-year-old kid, I guess, who just I just want to find my place in this world. I just want to, like I said, I already know what I want with my life. I already know what I want to do. Stream, make people happy, genuine. I always had dreams of joining an org of like 100 Thieves phase. I just like literally like how do I say just want to keep growing. Because I feel like I want to grow with you guys, and I want to make sure you guys have a safe community that you guys can enjoy and feel happy. Like you don't feel like like, hey man, I have a shit day. Let me join this stream. To feel you know good, you know. Oh, what's good, Goober? How you doing, Elliot? How you doing, mate? You know what's crazy? I haven't streamed in so long because I was sick, right? From a I had a voice infection. Like I had a throat infection, I meant. So I lost my voice, right? So and now I'm back streaming and for some reason I just feel anxiety, like I feel nervous and I hate that. I always get that when I'm first streaming after a long time, after a long break and everything. You're at 5 likes. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, it's just I don't like that. I don't like that feeling. Like I don't like feeling shy, nervous, or anything. But I get like that when I'm starting to stream and everything. Like, and I'm really trying to like fix that and stuff. You know, I think it's just because I haven't streamed in such a long time that I'm just feeling like that right now. But like I said, the more I get back to it, the more it just becomes more easier and easier and easier and everything. You know, I just like I said, guys, like some people some people can just be really mean, and I'm not saying that to be soft or like not to be like a man's man or whatever. I feel like it's like people have their own version of what a man is and everything. It's just well, I need to go. Have a good night, Goober. Have a good night, mate. Thank you for stopping by. I just don't want to be like I feel like a man is like everybody has their own version of it. I just feel like just try to be the best person you could be. Just keep growing. Everybody's gonna make mistakes. Everybody's gonna have quote unquote fuck ups. But at the end of the day, it's all about just living life and just enjoying yourself. Like it's the last day, because like we have everything in this world, but the only thing that we don't have is time. And unfortunately, might as well spend that time making the best of memories. No matter what it is. I come here just for something to relax to. Nah, facts, man. I gotta go. Sorry, I wish I could. Nah, that's cool, Alexander. Yo, mate, I appreciate talking to you. Yo, have the great night, bro. Have a good night, man. Get some rest, alright? What's good, Jay? Yo, how you doing, mate? Listen, I'm about to do some questions. Actually, I'm about to find some relationship questions. I've been great, mate. I'm just like right now. I haven't streamed in such a long time that I'm just like feeling anxiety right now for some reason. You too. Amen. Amen to you, mate. Amen to you. I feel like I feel like if I had expectations of a partner and everything, what's your question, mate? What's your question? I feel like if I had my partner ask me what are my expectations of her and everything, I feel like I would tell her like just just be the best person you could be. Just grow with me and like just don't leave. Like don't betray me. Simple as that. Do you know who your first sub was? I actually do not know who my first sub was. To be honest, I only get notifications on who my subscribers are if they're public, and then I'll get those. Um, but yeah, I feel like my expectations would be like just trying to make sure everything's good. If you have any trust issues or anything, let me know so we can fix them. Just try to like, help each other grow and like just live life and just have fun. That's always be my expectations of everything. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like if I had to like really like see my future and everything together, I feel like my future would be like I just don't want to have multiple partners. I feel like it'd be perfect just to have just one and then that's it. But hey, mate, like I said, we don't pick and choose who we end up being with and everything. So it's like, hey, we'll see what happens, I guess. Well, well, I think that's about it for me for today. Usually I do an hour every single time, but like, how do I say? I haven't streamed in so long that like I'm trying to start off with 30 minutes, and then after that get back to a full hour, and then get to 2 hours. You know, it's been a long time since I've done this. So I'm about to tell y'all guys, be easy, take care. I wish y'all all the best, and thank you for watching. I appreciate every single one of you guys every single day. Thank you all so much. I love all of y'all. Have a great night.